My car died on a lonely stretch of road, much like my marriage had years ago. But this time, when my husband didn't answer, my son sent a friend, a younger man whose eyes saw more in a single glance than my own husband had in a decade. That breakdown was just the beginning. Welcome to Hidden Love Stories. Today we journey down a quiet road where a mechanical failure leads to an unexpected human connection. A moment of being truly seen after years of feeling invisible. Can a stranger's empathy reignite a forgotten spark? If you've ever found a profound connection in an unlikely place, let us know. Your subscription and likes help us share these unique narratives of the heart. I wasn't in a hurry, just needed to be away for a while. The silence at home had gotten louder over the years. You don't notice it at first. The small things, a look missed, a conversation cut short. Eventually, you realize you're just living next to someone, not with them. My husband, Richard, was at work, as always. I didn't tell him I was leaving the house. I didn't feel the need to. It was a quiet road, somewhere past the highway where the trees started to lean in like they had secrets. My car stuttered, then stopped altogether. I tried turning the key again. Nothing. I sighed, more irritated at life than the machine. I stepped out, glanced around. No one, no shops. Just trees and empty roads, stretching too far in either direction. I called Richard, no answer. Called again, voicemail, typical. I hesitated before dialing my son, Ben. He picked up immediately, his voice warm, apologetic. "I'm not nearby, Mom. But I'll send a friend. He's close. Just stay put, okay?" I waited. Checked my reflection in the car mirror, tired eyes. A woman, Eleanor, 50, too familiar with waiting. Then a car pulled up, a black sedan, clean, modern. A man stepped out. Late 20s, maybe early 30s, Daniel, 29. Tall, confident posture, a trace of stubble. He smiled like he already knew I'd be surprised. "You must be Ben's mom," he said, extending a hand. "I'm Daniel." There was something relaxed about him, like he didn't take anything too seriously. I nodded, took his hand. It was warm, steady. "I can take a look at the car," he offered, rolling up his sleeves. "You're not a mechanic," I said, trying to keep my tone light. "No," he grinned, "but I like taking things apart." He leaned under the hood, fiddled for a few minutes, then closed it with a soft thud. "Looks like the battery's dead. I can give you a ride to the garage, or wherever you need to be." I hesitated. A stranger, even if he was my son's friend, but there weren't many options. I nodded. The drive started in silence. He didn't ask questions, didn't offer small talk. I appreciated that. "You don't talk much," I said finally. He glanced over. "I only talk when it matters." I smiled, surprised at how that landed. We passed rows of fields, flickering under the setting sun. My mind wandered. Who was this young man who didn't seem to care about time? Who didn't look at his phone? Who didn't fill the space with pointless noise? "You're nothing like Ben," I said quietly. He laughed. "I'll take that as a compliment." It was a simple ride, nothing dramatic, and yet something in me had shifted, just slightly. A flicker I didn't want to name. When he asked if I was hungry, I should have said no, but I said, "A little," before I even thought about it. And that was how it began. Not with a moment, but with everything that had been missing leading up to it. We pulled into a quiet diner on the edge of town, the kind with faded signs and warm lights. Inside, it smelled like coffee and something fried. I didn't realize how hungry I was until the food was in front of me. He ordered pancakes at sunset, said he liked breakfast at odd hours. I laughed. I hadn't laughed like that in a while. It startled me. You do this often? I asked. What? Rescue stranded women on back roads? Not really, he smiled. No, I mean, eat breakfast for dinner. He tilted his head. I do what I feel like when I feel it. Life's short. Too many people wait. Wait for what? My mind echoed. I'd been waiting for years. For my husband to come home earlier, for a kiss to mean something, for silence to be broken by more than the sound of the TV. Daniel asked about books, music, not in a small talk way. He actually listened. We argued over song lyrics, shared opinions about stories. I told him about a novel I loved when I was young, something I hadn't mentioned in years. He said I should reread it. You probably understand it better now, he said. There was no pretending with him, no awkward pauses, no trying too hard. It felt natural, unreasonably natural. He talked about his travels, places he wanted to live but never did, why he chose freedom over stability. He said people weren't built for cages, and I caught myself wondering when my life had become one. You look like you're somewhere else, he said. I live there, I replied. He studied me. You don't have to. I looked away. A compliment? A suggestion? A warning? It all sat between us like a quiet dare. The garage called. They couldn't fix the car tonight, needed to order a part. I could have called a cab, but I didn't. He didn't push. If you want, I can drop you home. Or we can drive a bit. Up to you. I surprised myself again. Let's drive. We moved past the edge of town, windows down, cool air slipping in. The silence was different now, comfortable. I asked if he believed in love. He said he believed in connection, that sometimes it was temporary but no less real. Is that how you live? I asked. I live like nothing is guaranteed, because it's not. I didn't know what to say. That answer both scared and excited me. At a red light, he glanced over. You have beautiful eyes. Sad, but beautiful. I didn't deflect, didn't laugh it off. I just said, thank you. And I realized in that second how long it had been since a man looked at me like I was still visible. When he asked if I wanted to keep going, I nodded. Not because I was lost, but because for once I didn't want to go back. Not yet. We found a quiet spot overlooking the city lights, distant and blurred, like stars fallen to the ground. Neither of us said much. The air was still, heavy with everything unsaid. He leaned back, arms resting behind his head, calm. I wasn't calm. I felt awake for the first time in years, but also on the edge of something I couldn't name. You're not used to this kind of silence, are you? He asked. I'm used to the wrong kind, I said. The kind that makes you feel invisible. He nodded, then looked straight at me. You don't have to stay where you're not seen. I looked away. It's not that simple. It is. We just pretend it's not because change scares the hell out of us. No judgment in his tone, just truth, spoken plainly. I should have disagreed. I didn't. He reached over, gently touched my hand. I didn't pull away. That surprised me. I let it happen, not because I was impulsive, but because something in me was tired of pretending. His hand was warm, steady. No pressure, just presence. You're allowed to want more, he said quietly. The tears came without warning. Not sobs, just a quiet, steady stream I didn't bother hiding. He didn't move, didn't interrupt. Just let me feel it. I hadn't cried in front of anyone in years, not even my husband, especially not him. You okay? Daniel asked softly. I nodded. I don't even know why I'm crying. Because someone finally reminded you that you're still alive. That struck me harder than anything. I was alive, and I'd been living like a shadow. He leaned closer, slowly, careful, our faces inches apart. I could have stopped it. Instead, I met him halfway. The kiss was gentle, unforced, not desperate, not about lust. About feeling something again. It didn't feel wrong. That startled me most. It felt inevitable. When it ended, he looked at me without asking for more, just waited, like he knew it had to come from me. "I don't know what I'm doing," I whispered. "That's okay. You don't have to." I kissed him again, this time with a certainty I didn't expect. Every part of me that had been asleep came rushing back. Time blurred. No plan, no logic. Just closeness, warmth, the quiet understanding we'd crossed a line we couldn't uncross. Neither of us apologized. Later, he said, "I'm not here to fix you. I just didn't want you to keep breaking alone." I didn't respond. No words for what that meant, but something had shifted inside me. I wasn't sure I wanted to go back. Sometimes a breakdown on a lonely road is just the beginning of a journey back to oneself. Has an unexpected encounter ever made you feel truly seen? Share your experiences in the comments. We value every story here at Hidden Love Stories. I woke up in my own bed, sheets too neat. Sun barely touched the curtains. Had it really happened? I felt it in my chest, in the quiet that now felt different, less absence, more aftermath. He hadn't stayed. No note, no message, just silence. Yet not empty, clean, unburdened. He hadn't tried to turn it into more than it was. I respected that. My husband was downstairs, making noise in the kitchen, not to serve me, but to remind me of his presence without offering it. He greeted me with a nod, not looking up. No questions, no warmth, routine. I sat across from him, watched his face. Lines deepened, eyes dull with habit, a life on autopilot. I used to miss him even when he was next to me. Now I didn't feel anything. That scared me most. I thought about telling him, not confessing, just being honest. But it wouldn't matter. He hadn't really heard me in years. That day passed like any other. The world didn't shift, no consequences, but I wasn't the same. A week later, our son's birthday party. Ben arrived with friends, laughter, energy. Then I saw him, Daniel. Walked in like any other guest, casual, unreadable. He didn't look at me right away, but when he did, just a second, a glance. Enough? No words, nothing reckless, just a shared memory. I moved through the party normal but felt different inside. Clarity. Not guilt, not shame, just a quiet understanding I'd crossed a threshold. No going back. Later that night, alone, I thought of the woman I used to be. Patient, dutiful, numb. Then I thought of that night, the rain, the kiss, how he said I didn't owe anyone my misery. I hadn't seen him since him. Didn't expect to. That wasn't the point. What we shared wasn't about forever, not even love in the traditional sense. It was about being seen when I was disappearing. That mattered. Some storms destroy. Others remind you there's still fire under the ash. He wasn't my escape. He was my mirror. And sometimes that's all it takes to finally walk back into your own life, eyes open. This unexpected encounter offered Eleanor a glimpse of what she'd been missing. What do you think she'll do with this newfound awareness? We invite you to share your thoughts and similar experiences. If this story resonated, please like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more hidden love stories. Your support helps us share these powerful journeys of the heart.